Hello, diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm excited to be here today to share with you the finish of one of my kits. If you follow the channel, you know that during the month of August, we've been doing our floral diamond paint along. I finished my Craftably Butterfly on Pansies kit. You guys have seen the finish of that. Then I decided I wanted to do my Diamond Dot Square kit, which was Hibiscus in Bloom. It's not a very large kit, but I've never done a Diamond Dot Square before, so I was curious to see how it would turn out. So it's not very big, it's roughly 40 by 30, and I had 29 different colors. I put it in my little Elizabeth Ward knockoff kit here. Because it's not very big, none of the colors had a ton of drills. I did have two ABs, a yellow and a green. There have been pros and cons to this kit. I gotta say, I love Diamond Dots. I have done many of their kits in rounds and never had a complaint. In fact, I think their rounds are some of the best ones out there. The squares, not gonna lie, were a little disappointing. So I had plenty of drills to finish everything. I did like that they included the two ABs. And there were a lot of different colors in this kit. I had, of course, dark browns and blacks and dark greens, and of course, reds, oranges, yellows for the big hibiscus flower. The first disappointment that I want to show you is the amount of trash. So you can see here for a 40 by 30 kit, this is a ton of trash. Some of it, you can see it's cupped on the underside. Some of it they had tabs, some of it they were just misshapen. Instead of being a square, they were more diamond shape than square, more rhombus shape, if that makes sense. Of course, the black had a lot of trash drills, but just not what I was expecting as far as quality goes compared to their round diamond kits. Lots and lots of trash. I mean, this is probably 3 times the trash I had in my Craftably for a kit that is a third of the size. So that was disappointing. Okay, let me grab the canvas and we'll look at it. Okay, so as you can see, I can get it all on the screen. That's how small it is. And it doesn't look terrible. It's not the worst kit I've ever done. It's also not the greatest. So you can see here, and I'll take B-roll so that you guys can see it up close, but you can see in many of these places, I actually think the grid was okay. And you can't see it as much in the darker colors, of course, because that's just how it works. But the drills are just not consistent quality. Some of them are okay, but then some of them just, I'd be trying to get them, the okay ones, to squeeze in together, and then I'd have ones where I had these big gaps and I was trying to manage the gaps so it didn't look weird. So you can see the yellow AB kind of sprinkled out through here, and then you've got the green AB kind of sprinkled through all of the leaves. It feels a little off. You've got these ABs over here, but then most of the rest of the green ones are on this side. You've got this whole corner down here where there aren't any, so that feels a little weird. The symbols were nice and clear, I will give them that. Lots of different colors. While the symbols were clear, I say they were clear on the side here. Once you shrink them down and put them on the canvas, sometimes it was hard to tell. So that wasn't the greatest. But I think the biggest negative for me is the drills themselves. Like, I feel like if I had maybe done this with spare drills instead of the drills that were provided, maybe the experience would have been better. I don't know. Because the whole time I was doing it, I kept thinking, I feel like it's not the grid, it's just the inconsistency of the drills. They were not great, and because they were not great, they don't fit together well, and you end up with these weird gaps. Admittedly, this has been setting for a couple of days since I finished it, and coming back to look at it after finishing it, it doesn't look as bad as I remember. So maybe it was just, during the experience of trying to put these all in and make them all fit. Like, looking at this section here, it really doesn't look bad. But again, these are darker drills. So like, there's this little gap over here that's bothering me. And I can see lots of gaps in the red and the pinks in here. Not so much, again, in the middles because it's darker colors, but it just wasn't that great of an experience. So will I be buying any more diamond dots? Yes. Will I be buying any more diamond dot squares? Probably not. At least not until they've improved their drills a little bit. And again, it doesn't feel like it's the canvas itself. Like, I feel like the grid was okay. The symbols were nice and clear. It's the drills themselves. Like these drills feel like what I used to get from the cheap budget companies when I very first started diamond painting before I was able to get some of the more premium company kits. And you get what you pay for. This kit was not super expensive. I think this one was somewhere around 30 some dollars Canadian. So it wasn't super expensive. And their kits are licensed. So for people that's important. But was it good enough for me to spend that kind of money again on these? No. I mean, the drills just had lots of tabs. Yeah, I just keep going back to it was the drills. I feel like, again, if I had used maybe some of my spares of some of these colors, that maybe it would have gone a little bit better. It's not bad, and especially from a distance, most of the gaps and things that annoyed me, you really can't see from a distance, and it is a pretty image. I love the flower itself. I think the rendering is really good, and I think the colors they chose for it, it turned out well. Just the gappiness of it, I'm not happy with. So leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Is this acceptable? Is this at a price point that you would pay for this? Do you see all the gaps that I see looking at it from a distance? Of course, you're going to see them in the B-roll, so maybe that will make a difference. But yeah, curious to know what you guys think. I'm happy I did it just so that I know what kind of quality it is. And maybe in a year or so after they've had time, hopefully, to do some upgrades and things, maybe I'll be willing to try it again. But for the foreseeable future, I think I'll stick with their rounds only. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.